Hi guys, Alex here. Now, this is one topic I probably touch on 2 or 3 times a week. And it's about when you're doing your backlog, or even if you're being a leader in general, about focusing on the outcome rather than the task. So it particularly comes up when we're refining backlogs. But I'm going to talk about this in context of really a change in your leadership style if you are a leader, or if you're a product owner, for instance, you're still leading your team, and it's really, really subtle, which is also really, really effective. So I'll go through this by pointing out some difference between a leader and a manager. So a leader might think to say something like this: I think it would be beneficial at the next meeting if everyone knew in advance what was going to be discussed. Says that to a subordinate, dare I say, or a team member or an expert. As opposed to a manager will just come out with it and say, can you type the agenda and send it out beforehand? So that's the difference. The leader is focused on the outcome, while the manager has just said, well, this is the task that he's doing. So you still get the same outcome. You get an agenda, but one of them has led the colleague to understand why and to take ownership of the actual task action. And that's the subtle difference there. So by the time of week 2, the leader's also developing their staff and going, well, would you like to look after the meeting now? It's good for your personal development and I can focus on other work, because they know why they're doing it. So they're going to continue to do the thing that they did last week. They probably didn't even need to be asked to do the task, because now they know why they're doing it. They're more inclined to do it off their own back. A good leader will always say, if you're not comfortable with this, let me know. I'm always here to help. Okay. The manager by week 2 is probably asking for the exact same thing. Can you type the agenda before the meeting's set up? They're not giving the team the opportunity to think about why it's being done and then understands the benefit of doing it. And so they're not going to go and be proactive. So this is not an agile thing, right? This is not agile at all. This is just a bit of a way of being a better leader and moving away from being just a manager of people. And within the communities I work with, people are very, very smart. A lot of graduates, it doesn't make you smile, by the way, but a lot of graduates, they don't need, it's not the Industrial Revolution. We don't need to be task managed. So while that isn't managed, that isn't agile. Backlogs are. So this is where I see it all the time. And I see these examples there on the left when I'm trying and coach people to be more like on the right. So rather than creating an item in your backlog saying set up the big meeting with stakeholders to agree the price. So that's the task that needs to be done. We've already agreed on the solution. As opposed to what you want to empower the team and say, hey, the outcome I want is that stakeholders are aligned on the pricing. Let the team decide if they need it through a meeting, an email, whatever. It's likely that we're going to discuss that and go into the detail. But start with the outcome before you go into the solution. The second one, this is a tech-based one. Change the call to action so it lands on the such and such sales page. Just tell, in this way, the manager, they're just telling the people what to do. They're not letting them use any of their influence. As opposed to a leader might say, look, the call of action needs to be user-friendly and promote sales. And let the experts in the team decide how that's going to be done. Most of all, you're just not being task-orientated. You're being a lot more outcome-orientated. And when you read this stuff back at the review, what have you done? It's not a laundry list of tasks that you've done. It's a collection of outcomes. Stakeholders are aligned on the pricing, and the call to action is now user-friendly and promote sales. You'd probably put some measures behind that. So that was a really quick video. It is one of the top topics that I come on. When you're writing your backlog, here's my number one tip I should probably put up in bold lights. If you're using verbs, doing words, in your refinement, you're probably missing the point. You're probably putting in tasks. When you're doing your refinement of your backlog, think outcome, outcome, outcome. What's the end result? Loads more on my website. Check out the rest of my playbook. I hope you've enjoyed this video.